Hello snakes, my name is Dante, and today it's Podcast Tuesday once again. Today it is time to review the top 13 best 13 cards, and by that I mean cards that have theme or synergy around the number 13. Because apparently we got Innistrad, Crimson Vow and Midnight Hunt came out, and they had a lot of 13 themed cards. So we're just gonna review all the 13 themed cards that, well, not all of them, the 13 best out of all of them, and yeah, review them. And the combo is gonna be a 13 themed combo. So let's get into the combo of the week, and we've got Jaren, Corrupted Bishop, and Tree of Redemption. So, Tree of Redemption is a 4 mana 0/13 planet with Defender. It allows you to exchange your life total with Tree of Redemption's toughness. So this is the bad tree, if you're wondering which one's the one that's played. Tree of Redemption is the bad one. So with Tree of Redemption, you can set your own life total to 13. So you can use Jaren's end step ability. You can pay 6 mana since you're at 13 life. Transform him from Jaren into Ormandal, the Corruptor. It is a 6/6 with flying trample lifelink, and it allows you to sacrifice another creature to draw a card. Really powerful sack outlet. So Tree of Redemption allows you to easily get to Ormandal by setting your own life total to 13 so Jaren can transform. So yeah, that's the combo of the week. Now, to the non-bow. And we've got Stang and Helm of the Host. So this is a non-bow. If you equip Helm of the Host onto Stang, then each combat you will create a non-legendary Stang copy, which then creates a legendary Stang twin copy. Stang twin is legendary, so you have 2 of them now. You have to sacrifice 1 of them. Since Stang twin leaves, then you have to sacrifice Stang. Since Stang is sacrificed, you have to exile Stang twin. And since Stang twin is leaving, you have to sacrifice Stang. So put Helm of the Host on Stang and it kills it upon combat. So that's the non-bow of the week. Now to the number 10, to the number 13. And we've got Bleed Drive, 4 mana instant with target creature gets -13 until end of turn. And if it dies, exile it instead. So it basically kills off nearly every creature that exists and exiles it. So it bypasses indestructible. So that's really cool. And yeah, it's just can kill off a Death Shadow, in fact. So this is really cool. The thing is that there are some cards that have the number 13, but it is not actually themed around 13, such as I think it's like called Shivan Meteor or also Death Shadow. They have the number 13, but they're not themed around 13s. Most cards like Innistrad, there are all cards from Innistrad that have the 13 theme. They're 13 because of part of theme, but then but then there are some other cards that coincidentally have 13, but they're not 13 themed. That's the thing. They're not like from other sets. Thing is, that Innistrad has an actual 13 theme, and yeah, maybe the new Kamigawa set is gonna have a 4 theme. I don't know. Maybe not, but uh, but there is a 13 theme in Innistrad. So yeah, let's go into the number 12, and it is Ruthless Disposal. 5 mana sorcery. You have to also discard a card and sacrifice a creature. 2 creatures get -13, -13 on turn. So this is double the power of Bleed Dry. But you have to discard a card, pay 1 more mana, and sacrifice a creature. But it requires less black mana. This is 2 and 2 black. This is 4 and black. And also you might need to sacrifice a creature. Or discard a card. Many cards have theme of discarding and sacrificing, and this kills 2, not 1. So if you're doing a 2 for 2, it's the same thing as doing a 1 for 1. But discarding a card, you could play this with Madness and stuff. But sometimes it is disadvantageous. But you have lots of cards, so you really wouldn't care about discarding a card on the Ruthless Disposal. So yeah, that is the number 12, Ruthless Disposal. Now to the number 11, and we've got Tragic Fall. 2 mana instant. Target creature gets -3/-3 in turn of turn. In Hellbent, it is 13, -13. Instead of you have no cards in hand. This is from MH2, but it is supposed to be themed around the number 13, and it's probably set in Innistrad as well. But the thing is that it uses Hellbent, which is a mechanic from Ravnica, a Rakdos mechanic, but it doesn't have any like specific theme around 13 Rakdos. But this is actually based off of Tragic Slip, another Innistrad card that does a 1 mana to -1/-1, or Morbid to do a -13/-13. So this is a good removal, and the thing is that instead of doing it, costs more than Tragic Slip to do a slightly higher base effect than Tragic Slip. It's not they both can do -13/-13, but this has a higher base effect than Tragic Slip. But then Tragic Falls gets -13/-13 with Hellbent, not with Morbid. Hellbent is harder than Morbid, so I'd say it's the worst out of the two. But that's number 11. It is still a good removal, cheap removal. Let's go to number 10, and it is Tragic Slip. 1 mana instant, target creature gets -1/-1 turn of turn, or Morbid for a -13/-13 turn of turn if a creature died this turn. This is much more powerful than Tragic Fall. It's cheaper, but you're playing them to do -13/-13. This, it's more to do the -3/-3 for 2 mana, which is probably weaker than Tragic Slip's -13/-13 for 1 mana, which is you'd cast this when a creature dies. You wouldn't do the -1/-1 effect. This you could do any of the 2 effects, but then this is harder to get the -13/-13 because you need Hellbent, not Morbid. So yeah, and yeah, this is Very good card, very good removal. 1 mana that reduces toughness is actually very good because it could kill off many creatures, even those with indestructible. So yeah, that's why these cards that remove toughness are very good, because it's better in dealing damage actually. So yeah, let's go into the number 9, simple 9, and it is Elbrus, the Binding Blade with Wivengar Unbound. So, this is a really powerful equipment. 7 mana, legendary artifact equipment. The equipped creature gets +1/+0. It deals combat damage to player. Detach Elbrus, then transform it, and equip for 1. So this is like a Bone Saw, but it costs 7 mana more, just so then if it hits the player, you can turn the Bone Saw into Wivengar. 13/13 legendary demon, and basically whenever a player loses a game, put 13 +1/+1 counter on Wivengar Unbound. It has flying, vigilance, trample. So this is a powerful demon that gets stronger with the death of each player. So this is basically a commander card. And also, still, it is a 13/13 flying vigilance, flying, intimidate, trample. So it's very good. Very hard to block, considering you need a black flying creature or a black artifact creature, in which black flying creatures are basically just vampires or nothing. So yeah, and not all vampires have flying, that's the thing. Or demons, other demons. Still, Wivengar would crush them, that's another thing. And trample as well. So it's hard to stop Wivengar. So yeah. And then if someone dies, Wivengar gets stronger. So basically like Highlander, just keeps on getting stronger. Yeah. Yeah, that's the number 9. Wivengar Unbound. Now for the Golden 8. And it is Into the Maw of Hell. 6 mana sorcery. Destroy target land and deals 13 damage to target creature. This is a 6 mana, and it's so good because it destroys 2 stuff. It destroys a land and it kills a creature. Well, many creatures would die into the Maw of Hell. Like Wivengar, for example. This is a 13/13. This gets killed by Into the Maw of Hell. That deals 13 damage. So yeah. Also could kill off Ormandal, Tree of Redemption. Unless if Tree of Redemption exchanges life totals with you if you have more life than the tree. Or Tree of Perdition as well. This could also kill off Tree of Perdition. Yeah. Unless if it already switched with the opponent. So yeah. That's the number 8. Into the Maw of Hell. Now to the number 7. Simple 7, and it is Stanzia Uprising. 4 mana enchantment at the beginning of your end step. Create a 1/1 human. Then if you control exactly 13 permanents, you may sacrifice it. When you do, it deals 7 damage to any target. So yeah, this is good because it's like one of those Legion cards, or I don't know what they're called. You create tokens like every turn. Create a 1/1 human. Then eventually, if you want to, if you get 13 permanents, exactly 13, you could sacrifice and deal 7 damage to any target. You could use that and then kill off anything or just hit the player for a big amount of damage. But no more humans. But this is good alone with the humans. But then the special 13 ability, it's just it's a last resort option in my opinion. We have nothing left to deal damage with. Just sacrifice to deal 7 damage. And there you go. So yeah, that's the number 7, Stensia Uprising. Now, to the number 6, and it is... By invitation only. 5 mana sorcery. Choose a number between 0 and 13. That each player sacrifices that many creatures. So this is a board wipe that allows you to just kill off whatever creatures, however many creatures you want to kill. It's even better if you're the one with the most creatures. Because then, if you have the most creatures, you can keep your best creatures by selecting a number that's lower than what you've got. So, imagine you have 5 creatures and each opponent has 4 creatures. Choose number 4. Each player sacrifices 4 creatures. You still have 1 left. But then if you have 3 creatures, someone has 6 creatures, the other guy has 4 creatures, and someone else has 1 creature, choose 6. They all die. So this is just it's just a really good card. It's a board wipe that regulates how many you want to sacrifice. And then if all goes wrong and someone has over 13, okay, everyone sacrifices 13 creatures. That's a trick. Really cool. It's a really cool card. And yeah, let's go in to the number 5. And it is... Triscated Ecophobia. 4 mana enchantment at the beginning of your upkeep. Choose 1. Each player with exactly 13 life dies, then each player gains life, or each player with exactly 13 life dies, then each player loses a life. So this card kills off everyone who has 13 life exactly. But then this also allows you to get far from the 13 point, or the opponent closer to the 13 point, or vice versa. So let's say opponent's at 11, you're at 15. Make everyone gain life, so then you heal off and get further from the 13 point, or and you're getting the opponent closer to 13 point. You're both at 8 and 7. Like you're at 8 and he's at 7. You could descend each player 1 life, so you could get him to 0 as well. But then if the opponent has 8 life and you have 7, each player will start gaining life, so then you can get him to the 13 point. But then both of you have high life total. You're at 19, he's at 20. Start gaining life, because then you're gonna be at the 13 point and not him. He's at 19, you're at 20. Descend life totals. So then he gets to the 13 point before you do. He's at 15. You're at 8. Make everyone start losing life, so he gets closer to the 13 point, and you get further away from the 13 point as well. However, watch out. You could get closer to the 0 point than to the 13 point. Yeah. And it's a really cool. It's a really cool theme and card flow. The only issue is there is no ability that allows you to do 0. Like, no one gains, no one loses. But then what's the whole point? Your objective is to try and stay far from the 13 point, or drive the opponent closer to the 13 point. This is really cool. Let's go into the number 4. It's an insta-kill card, yeah. Tree of Perdition. 4 mana 0/13 plant of Defender. And trade its toughness with an opponent's life total. This is the better tree. This is the bad tree. The Tree of Redemption is the bad tree. This is the good tree. Tree of Perdition is a good one because it changes the opponent's life total with it. So the opponent could be at like 40 or something, very high life total. Switch it with Tree of Perdition. Tree of Perdition is now very high toughness, and he's at 13. Combo this with Triskaidekaphobia, you could kill him instantly with Tree of Perdition. Tree of Redemption. The Tree of Redemption is supposed to be, so you set yourself at 13 life when you're going very low. So you set it to 13 life, and then Tree of Redemption becomes really, has low toughness, so it won't be able to defend properly. So yeah, that's the thing, yeah. And then Tree of Perdition is much better because, well, yeah, you're taking life away from the opponent, not from the tree. And like instead of you gaining life to 13, which is a okay. So yeah, this is a really good card, and yeah, it is cool. This is a Tree of Perdition, and yeah, let's go into the number 3, Golden Free, and it is yeah, remember to do that inventory already. We got Army of the Damned, 8 mana sorcery, create 13 tapped 2/2 zombies. And then flashback for 8, flashback for 10 to do this again. So it's so cool because, so basically you summon 13 zombies, and then you can do this again by flashbacking it. And it's 8 mana for 13 zombies. That's like 26 damage on the board. And like, so powerful. And then they're tapped though, that's the only issue. You can't block with them the turn you cast this. Then you can do this again for 10 mana. So that's 26 tapped 2/2 zombies for 18 mana. And like 8 mana then 10 mana. So this is still the above average, which would be 26 mana for those 13 zombies, or for 26 total. That's the thing. But then, since they're tokens, this would probably be worth around like 15 mana. But the thing is, this creates some taps. So haste wouldn't work. They can't block the turn they enter. Yeah, at least they're not decaying zombies. That's the thing. Decaying zombies, well, that would be a bad card if it was decayed zombies, because that's one attack you can do, and they can't block. So yeah, that's the number 3, Army of the Damned. Now to the number 2, and it is Star Awake. 4 mana sorcery, target player mills 13. 5 mana, put from your graveyard to battlefield transformed, but only as a sorcery. Okay, but only as a sorcery. It turns into. Forgot to put the transform card. So, Star Awake turns into Persistent Nightmare. 1/1 with Skulk, and when it deals combat damage to player, put it back into your hand. So you can do Star Awake again. So it's a recurrent mill card that turns into a creature. It's the first sorcery that can actually transform, in fact. Yeah. This is how cool it is. So, yeah. This was like the original, one of those original disturb effects. So yeah. That's the number 2. Now, to the number 1. And it is It is a 2-mana 1/3 human wizard. If you have no maximum hand size, meaning if you upkeep, if you have exactly 13 cards in your hand, you win the game and pay 4 mana to draw a card. So this is good because no maximum hand size. So that's same power as Fog Vessel. Then 4 mana you can draw cards. So this allows you to draw cards, and then eventually, if you reach the 13 cards, you win. You just straight up win. You can start playing cards and then start drawing cards until you get the 13 point. And yeah, this is actually a good 13 point. When you get 13 cards in your hand, not 13 life. So yeah, this is a really cool card. So yeah, that's the number 1 Trickscape file. And yeah. And yeah, it's also even if you're not gonna try and win with the 13 thing, it's still a spellbook on a creature that allows you to draw cards. Really good. We're not done yet. We got a bonus card, a playtest that probably playtested the new 13 cards from the new Innistrad double feature sets, and they are. Wait. And it is, yeah. Bonus! 13 and 4 demon. 3 mana 4/3 demon with flying. It's called Witty Demon. It's a playtest, by the way. When enters battlefield, if your starting library had at least 13 cards over the minimum, search your library for a card and put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. Otherwise, it deals 4 damage to you. You see? 4. That's a card that's themed both around the number 13 and the number 4. So yeah. And with this card, if you just play 76 cards, or no wait, 73 cards. I mean 76. Anything above 73 cards, like you could use Yorion as your companion, put Witty Demon in there. You got 73 cards in the deck. This allows, it's a 3 mana tutor on a 4/3 flying creature. Doesn't work for commander because then it's a 3 mana 4/3 that deals 4 damage to you as it enters. So yeah, because you can't have more than 100 cards. Play this in a sealed pod. Hey, you can place 53 cards in the deck that uses tutor. What do you search for? I don't know. Maybe another powerful card. Another Witty Demon. I don't know. But yeah, it is still a really good card. Yeah. I don't know if this is ever going to be a card, but if it does become a card, it will be very powerful. But yeah, congratulations. You've reached the end of the podcast, so why don't you like and subscribe and follow my Twitch channel behind the share friends, stay tuned to our next videos, streams, and podcasts. The next podcast will be recorded, but after that, they will be live every Tuesday, so stay tuned to them. That's because I'm in America, so this has to be a recorded podcast, unfortunately, because bad internet, and also I don't know where I'm going, so this is so it's gonna be hard to try and keep up with the podcast, especially since I have to do them at 8 a.m. That's too early for me. So they're gonna be recorded. So yeah, the next one's recorded. This is a recorded podcast. But then once I'm back, they will be live as usual until I go back on holidays. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And bye.